Okay, guys, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to see it. 2-node rack setup, 12c release to database on OEL7. How to install Oracle 12c database 2-node rack on OEL, Oracle Enterprise Linux, on my virtual machine. I'll show you clear-cut installation steps like how to install, what are all the software we need to download, everything. So step one, we need to go with the introduction, what we are going to do it, what we are going to achieve from this session. Okay, I'll tell you that as well. And then step two, we are going to download the software. Where we are going to download all Oracle related softwares, we are going to download it from e-delivery site. I'll show you that also. e-delivery.oracle.com. From this site, we can download. What are all the softwares we need to download? I'll discuss those things. And step three, we need to configure, install the VirtualBox, and then do some kind of setups. We need to create a new machine, right? For installing our operating systems, database, grid, everything that we can do that. And step three, install operating system. Once your machine is ready, VirtualBox is ready, we need to install the OEL7 operating system software we need to install on it. Once the operating system is installed, step four, what we are going to do it. Step four, we are going to do the prerequisites on OS level, operating system level. If you want to install Oracle Database 12c, some packages we need to install. Packages means RPMs, OS level, and grid. We want to install the cluster also, right? Database cluster 12c release 2. What are all the prerequisite packages or RPMs which we need to install? All of those things we can install in OS level. These are the prerequisites. So some of the M command are from OEL 8 onwards, we use DNF command instead of M. There M also we can use it, but yeah, let us go with M only. M is the tool to install packages, okay, required packages in root level. I'll show you that also. And step 5, once we're done with the prerequisites, some of the kernel parameters, okay, some of the kernel parameters which are required, SSH max, SSN min, these things, minimum, these steps OS level we need to do. We'll talk about it. Okay, I'll talk about it once. I'll go through all high level. What are all the things we are going to cover in this part? Okay, all these parameters. Yeah, where here I can mention step 6. Step 5 we mentioned, or step 4? Step 4 done. Step 5 also here it is. Step 6 we need to do. Step 6, create directories and users, groups. We need directories, right? We need to download the software, Oracle software and grid software, where we need to configure, where we need to unzip. For that, we need to create a directories. For Oracle software, one directory, grid, cluster software, one directory. And we need to create a users, OS user, okay, OS users, operating system users. To install your database, we can use Oracle user. And to install our cluster software, we can use grid user. So we need to create those users, right? We'll talk about more on it. And also we need to assign the groups related to that users, okay? Which group the user is belongs to. Groups, I don't think so. We are going to use common group O install for everything. Okay, step 6 is done. I'll explain later also. Then, yeah, prerequisite M tool. These are all the libraries which are required, but I don't think so. We are not going it. Let's see if you update the M, automatically everything is going to come into the picture. But yeah, it is required RPMs, packages, and some additional steps. Additional means I'll tell you those. Steps number 7, we need to do some kind of additional steps like Oracle user password change, and we need to change the grid user password. Grid user password in OS, as and when you are going to change or create the user, we are not going to put the password directly. User add we are going to give it, but we don't know the password. That's where we need to use passwd command to change the passwords. And also we need to add the etc hosts for all the IP addresses. Okay, one quick question, like in RAC environment, if you want to set up, okay, if you want to set up RAC 2-node RAC environment, how many IPs is required? Okay, internet protocol, IP means like to identify the services in an internet or server level, we required IP addresses. Okay, this is my one node. Let me rename it. I want to make it RACS1. Earlier, what name I have given to one of my previous machine, RACS lab. Okay, I'll just give RACS1. Replace all. Close. Another one, I'll give my RACS2. Control H, RACS2, replace all. That's okay. So this is my host name one, which I'm going to create a machine, virtual machine. Another machine is this. I need to create these two machines. Okay. And then on these two machines, I'm going to install the operating system. On top of that, prerequisites for database and cluster. And then we can install the cluster. We'll see it. Okay. This is the physical machines. If you are going for 3-node rack, then we need to add one more IP, one more host like RACS3. If you are going with a 4-node, you can add one more server like RACS4, similar way. So public IPs, private IPs, virtual IPs, and scan IPs. These are required, right? Where? Let me remove this scan IPs. Yeah. So individually, I'll discuss as part of this host. We have a few more sessions. We are continuously, this one complete installation, we are going to discuss into 3 parts. First part, we need to update the ETC host with public IP, private IP, virtual IP, and scan IP. For 2-node rack, how many IPs we required? If somebody will ask, each node, one public, one private, one virtual, and commonly 3 IPs for scan. So how many IPs for 2-node? 6 plus 3, 9 IPs. 2-node rack, we need 9 IPs. But in case of 3-node rack, how many we required? Extra public one, private one, virtual one, plus 3, 9 plus 3. Scan for, if you are going for 10 nodes also, 3 scans we can use. If somebody will ask you, can I use single scan? Okay, you can use it, but there is no use. Okay, there is no use. Somebody will ask, can I use 4 scan IPs, 5 scan IPs? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. No issues. Okay, they can use it. But as per the standards, Oracle also recommended to use, what I can say, 3 scan IPs by default. If you can use it, that is flexible. So that's where we need to use it. I'm going to remove this, my scan name. Not the 1 and 2. I can make it RACS is my scan name. Okay, scan name. And this is my scan short name. So this is a fully qualified name, and this is a this name. For this name, computer will understand only IPs. It is not understanding on the text format. This is for human readable format, and this is a computer readable format. That's where IP is going to for computer, and this is for our purpose. Okay. And this is a short name for your fully qualified domain name or host name. This is a short name. It is a fully qualified name, and it is a short name. That's it. This is our scan IPs. So these we need to set up, and DNS resolution. We need to do the DNS setup. In real time environment, we don't need to set up for the DNS. Okay. In this DNS, we need to do this resolve.config. Before going to do this, we need to do reverse zone and forward zone configurations. We need to do these configurations to provide the DNS. It's a kind of demo kind of DNS, which we are going to do it in our demo instances, our lab purpose. But real time, we have a separate DNS servers managed by the network team. They are going to provide the name resolutions. Like, see here, scan IP, we are using 3 IPs, but only single name. Say the single name, 3 different IPs we are using. Okay. RACS-scan, we are going to use it, right? This one is our short name. We should not use only scan. So how it is going to identify? Single name with 3 IPs. This DNS will help. We need to keep all these things into your reverse zone and forward zone files. That will, users will connect it with this IP, this host name, not the IP, this name. And that user connection will redirect to whenever user, we are going to provide this in our TNS names file. Okay. Users, we are going to provide this connectivity connection string. Okay. Then they will connect it by using this ID. Their connection should redirect to 105 IP or 106 IP or 107 IP. Any one of that IP is going to support that user request. Single name with multiple IPs. How that is going to happening because of this DNS setup. Okay. That is the feature in our RAC, right? Our 11G release to feature. Scan single client access name. If you add one more node, like, let me tell you here. As I said, if you are using 2-node RAC, we require 9 IPs. But in case of 3-node RAC, how many IPs we required? 9. Only individual IP. Third node we are going to adding, right? So we need to provide the public, private, and virtual. But we are not going to provide the scan IP extra. If you are going for 4-node RAC, then how many nodes we required? 4-node RAC? 12 plus 3. 3 is common. Even if you are going for 10-node racks also, 10 node, each node you required one public, one private, and virtual. So 3 IPs is required and extra 3 scan IPs. That's it. And so on. If you are going with a 10 node, how many nodes we required? 10 into 3, 30 plus 3, 33 IPs. 30 plus 3 for 10 node, 30 for 10 node. Each node we required 3 IPs which are belongings to one public, one private, one VIP. So each node we required 10 nodes total, 3 individual, each node 3 IPs is required plus 3 scan IPs. Scan IPs is common for entire cluster nodes. But these public, private, and virtual IP, it's individual nodes. That is only one thing. Okay. To resolve the name resolution, we need to do the DNS setup. Real time, it is not required, only for demo purpose. Okay. Demo instances. In real time, we are not going to do the setup. Done. This one we need to do, and then, yeah, this one is different. RAC scan, that's okay. Yeah, some of the parameter, this one, SC Linux configuration, we need to disable this parameter. By default, it is a permissive or some other parameter. We need to disable this. I'll show you that also. And we need to stop the firewall as part of our installation process. After installation is done, if you want to enable, you can enable it. Firewall. NTP, it's also kind of optional one. If you want to enable the NTP related things, these are all network things, guys. As a DBA, we don't need to go in depth of these things. Okay, this is not our job in real time, but yeah, as part of a demo instances, we are going to do it. Okay, you can do this NTP related setup. Why? Because when you run the cluster verification tool, these are all the errors we used to get it. We can avoid those errors. As part of demo instances, we can avoid it. And then create a directory structure for Oracle Home and Grid Home. To install our Oracle Home, we need one directory. This is for our Oracle Home path. And this one is for our Grid Home. Wherever you want to install your Grid software, you need to create one directory. This is our Grid Home. Here we are going to unzip our software, Grid software. In this location, we are going to unzip our database software. And then change owner to U01. But here I'm going to take 2 different mount points, U02 for my grid and U01 for my database one. In that case, what I need to do? I need to give change ownership to grid user and change the privileges to U02 mount point. If you want to use, you can use the same mount point. But in case what I'm trying to do is grid, I'm going to use for differently mount point. Oracle database, I'm going to install in different directory. This is required. Then these are the bash files. Okay, bash files. That's okay. U02, as and when it is U01, you can change it to U02. See here. For bash profile, for grid, you can create separately. Oracle you can create separately. What is the database name we are going to create? Okay, testDB. This is my unique name for my database. Okay, testDB. And here I'll give testDB1. For node 2, I can change it later. This is for one node, bash profile. Okay. And we need to create some alias environment setups and all. It is like optional things. We don't need to go with all these things, but optional things just for remembering purpose. That's it. These are all optional things. No need to think about it. Even bash profile also no need to create. It is not a mandatory option. For easy connection purpose only we are going to do it. Till this path we need to create. These things is mandatory. Without this we cannot go ahead, right? Without where we are going to unzip our softwares, how to unzip and where to unzip. Okay, these are all mandatory. This is optional. Okay, I'll mention optional steps. Optional steps. Optional steps till this one ended. Optional steps are ended. That is not required, but yeah, if it is, we are going ahead, go ahead and do that. That's okay. What else? Next step, I forgot at the step number 6, I think, as I recalled. 7 is done. Additional, those are the additional steps. And step number 8, what we are going to do it is install the guest additions. Once you install the operating system, immediately we need to do this. I think I can move this step to forward, upward. Okay, first, before all doing these things, we need to do install guest additions. We need to do this after OS installed. Immediately we need to do this. Okay, guest additions is very important. After we install our operating system, immediately we can do it. This step I can remove this step. Okay, I'll add that directly over there. This is important. Step 8, I'll mention this one. Let me move this guest additions installed one to top. After we install the operating system, immediately we need to do this step. Here, operating system installation is right. After that, I'll do that. We need to install the guest additions immediately. Then step number 8, create shared disks. This we can use it for ASM disks. Okay, I can't say this is a clone virtual. Shared disks are virtual disks for ASM. So we are going to create, we are going to use shared storage for RAC. Okay, shared storage. RAC is shared everything file system, right? So shared storage, we need to create virtual disks from our virtual machine. Like this, we have all the dev 1, dev 3, dev 4, disk 1, disk 3. These are all our shared disks. All are shareable. This kind of disks we need to create. That we can do it in step 8. Once this is done, we need to do the, as of now, everything we are going to do it on node 1, first node. So second machine, also we can do it parallelly, but we have an option, right? We can do the clone. Once the machine 1 is completed, do the clone of this machine, first machine. And then there we can change the name, node name. As of now, if I can do the clone of the machine, suppose I have RACS Lab 1 and RACS Lab 2. First, I need to set up this machine. Once this is done, I can clone this machine like where it is here. By using this clone option, I can clone and then I can make it Lab 2. After I finish it, this clone, I can rename the host names, everything inside of this machine. That I'll show you. That is easy, right? But parallelly, if you are going to do it multiple times, right? 2 times you need to execute all the steps, OS level prerequisites and other things. Okay, to save the time, we are going to do it. In real time also, I think we can do parallelly. It depends how they are going to do it. So clone the virtual machine. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on your machine speed. Then install the grid infrastructure. I don't think so. It is not that quick step. Step number 9. Done. Step number 10, grid infrastructure, right? If you want to install the grid infrastructure, we should have some prerequisites. We need to do passwordless connection, establish, and then plus we need to install one custom package. Yeah, few things. Run cluster verify. Cluster verify to check the status of the cluster. To check the status of the installation, or else to check the prerequisites. All the prerequisites, whether we have enabled or not, and then we can check this one. By using this one, we can enable it. As part of this directory creation, we need to create the inventory also. Base directory, mkdir, base directory, and vara inventory. These two also we need to create. Okay, those are mandatory things. Once this cluster verification tool is executed successfully, then we can start grid setup. This script will execute it. We need to execute this from the grid user. Okay, grid user. This will set up our cluster. This is the grid infrastructure installation. Once this is done, we need to install in the step 11. We are going to install database software. Okay, for this database software, I think we need to connect. We need to connect Oracle user, OS user, and run the run install command. And then we can use dbca command to configure database. We can do it by using run installer also, both the software plus database configuration, but we are going to install software only. Okay, we can do both, but we can do software only installation here. dbca we can use for configuring the database. Then create a database. Yeah, this step. Same. No need to mention separate step. We can use the same step number 11. We can use both configuring the database software and then install the software, database software, and configure create the database. And then check the step level 11 sanity checks or post installation steps. Check the cluster status, database status by using srvctl and crsctl. Check all the database and cluster services, health checks. That's it. It's a very simple, right? It's a very simple one. 12 steps we are going to configure, but these 12 steps will take more than 6 hours. Okay, let me start from step 1. Introduction. Introduction is nothing but we are going to do the 12c release to database on OEL7. Okay, 12c release to database on OEL7. We are using for this machine Oracle VirtualBox. VirtualBox to do the setups. And that is the introduction. We don't go for much deeper on it. Okay, 12c release to softwares. Okay, to download the software, we need to download the total. How many softwares we required? We required VirtualBox software. We need VirtualBox software. We need to download. Then operating system OS OEL7. We need to download. Then we need to download RDBMS, our Oracle database software, including cluster software. Okay, we need to download it, these two. So for this, we have 2 patches. Okay, 2 software files. This one software file. This one we can download it from the this VirtualBox related site is there. I'll show you that. These three patches we can download it from edelivery.oracle.com. But VirtualBox we can download it from separately. In the Google also you can check VirtualBox. This one, VirtualBox download. From this site you can download it. Okay. virtualbox.org. From here, click on this. Take this one. Download latest. VirtualBox 7 point something. Okay. Go to this site. Download the software for Windows. Which operating system you are going to install? I'm going to install in my Windows. This VirtualBox. So I need to download the. I need to click on this Windows. Automatically it is going to download. One download. Yeah, it is going to download. Done. 106 MB is there. I have downloaded the software. Okay. For Windows, I have downloaded. Why? Because I already have my virtual machine, but I don't want to download again and again. I don't want to install. So in my case, I have this VirtualBox already installed. If you want to see how to install in my YouTube channel, you can go ahead and check it. Where my YouTube channel is this. You can go to videos and you can see all the videos in there. We used to have somewhere one of that video how to install the VirtualBox. Clearly it is there. You can watch over there. Okay. From here. And then next software from where we are going to download eDelivery, right? edelivery.oracle.com. edelivery.oracle.com. Here you need to sign in. If you don't have an account, create it. You can use your personal mail ID also. That's okay. Once you logged in, you just type here Oracle database and search it. If you want to mention version also, you can mention 12.2. That is very easy, right? Even Oracle database 12c, you can select it. Only 12c databases, it will come. See here, first one. We are going to download this one. Click on this button and it will add to your cart. Continue. So we know, and also you need to select the platform. We are going to use Linux x86 64-bit. If you are using another operating system, you can choose according to that. I don't want client. I need database plus grid infrastructure. Both the patches I required, or both the downloads softwares I required. Accept this one, review and accept, continue. Here, this is for my database patch or database software, and this is my grid software, 12.2 grid software. These two we need to download. Click on the download, it will be download. I already downloaded these two softwares and I placed into my desktop in a shared location. Both are having 6 GB size. Okay. In this way, we are going to download it. So download portion, it is completed here. Where? Yeah. Now we need to check. I'll give you the patch numbers also. What are the patch numbers we need to give? Let me copy. Okay. Come bottom to top. Let me give you this. So I need to download the patch which is related to my Oracle database on my Linux machine. That is fine. And the size of the patch is 3.2 gig. And this one. This is my grid infrastructure. So we need to download both these patches, 839960, 840012. These two patches we need to download. And Linux software also there, right? We need to download this OEL, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7. From there only we can download it. I can go with back, eDelivery, enter, leave this page, sign in. It's a single sign on only. You don't need to log in every time. One time if you logged in, until unless you are going to sign out, it will not. Or else if the session is closed, you need to relog in. Oracle Linux 7 I just mentioned. Okay. Oracle Linux 7. So which version you want to go? We are going with this one. Oracle Linux 7.8 update or Oracle Linux 7.6. Any one of the operating system. In 7 place, you can go any one of that. So select this x86 64-bit. It is not ARM processor. I'm using x86 64-bit for Linux. So it is a 14 GB. We are not going to download everything. We used to download only few files, only one file, not the few. See, we are having so many packages here. Okay, we don't want everything. Unselect everything and select only required one. Okay, I'll go with this one. Update 6. It is there. I can go with this patch 980739. This patch size is 4. The software size is 4.3 GB. Okay, this ISO zip file for my OEL Oracle Linux release 7 update 6 7.6 OEL version. You can click on the download. So I'll give you this also. Which operating system software you need to download? Here it is. So as I mentioned, one software file for our Linux. This is our Linux software. This is our database software. And this is our grid software. We are seeing how everything we have downloaded, right? Even I have in my machine, just click on the download, it will download. It is not required for me, right? That's where. So we need to set up the VirtualBox installation and do the network setup. And step 2 we need to do. Step 1 is completed. Step 2, I already have my machines. My VirtualBox is installed. If you want, you can see my YouTube channel for VirtualBox installation. Okay. Now I want to create a machine. Click on the machine and the new. Now I'm going to create for my 2-node rack, right? I need 2 machines. First machine is RACS1 and that is my machine name. And also I can use the same for my host name also. And where you want to configure that machine. I want to see the storage, how much storage I have availability in my system. I have my E drive sufficient storage. Here I can use a new folder. I can create a new folder. Feb rack. In the month of February, I'm going to set up the rack. So I can use this folder. So in this location, I'm going to create. Okay. In this location, I'm going to create with RACS1 machine. Then if you want to add your software, Linux software, which we downloaded, right? That you can add it here directly. See here, 995537. What is the software number? 99. This is 980738. That's okay. Even OEL 7. This is 7.6 version. Okay, update 6. Update 8, update 7, update 9, you can download it. But in my case, I have, but I'm not going to add it right now. And what type of operating system we are going to configure on this machine? I'm going to install my Linux operating system. If you are going to install any other operating system, select that. We downloaded the Linux only, right? Oracle Linux operating system. That's it. And click on next. And here we need to, how much memory you are going to assign. I'll give my rack system at least 8 GB is required. So 8.192 MB I'm going to provide. One CPU also fine. Let me give 2 CPUs. I have a couple of CPUs, so I can give it up to how many? Up to green also we can give, more than that also we can give. But it is recommended to go up to green line. That's it. But rack, each node, 1 CPU is fine, or else you can go for 2 CPUs, that is fine. And RAM, it should be 8 GB or more than 8 GB. Otherwise, your installation will be failed. This is for the node 2 storage. How much storage we required? I can go with 80 gig, one node. Each node 80 GB, 80 GB. I'll go for database and cluster, both. 60 GB also you can go, but it is not optimal. Like what will happen when you are going to download some softwares, patches, extra things, you will not get sufficient storage. So at a time we are going with 80 GB, that is fine. Even 60 GB also you can go, no issues. But I will flexible with 80 GB, that is fine. 80 GB storage. Previously we given 8 GB RAM, 2 processes. That is the configuration. For my one machine, we need to create another machine, right? For that also 8 GB RAM, 2 processes or 2 CPUs, 80 GB storage. Next, see, this is my configuration. My machine name is this. I want to create this machine into E drive under this folder. If this E drive doesn't have a storage, it will fail out, right? We should have to check the storage. Minimum 150 gig it required for both the nodes, 2 node rack. If you are going for 3 node, into 3 into 80, 3 into 70 GB, you can take 8 GB RAM, 2 processes, 80 GB storage. That's it. Click on finish. Yeah, my machine 1 is ready. This is my machine, but This machine doesn't have any operating system. Now I need to do some kind of setups. Here I mentioned the steps also, right? In step two, VirtualBox installation, that is okay. We need to do the network setup, machine setup, both. I have inside of that machine, I have created the machine, right? I need to do the network setup. See, for this, we need to configure 3 IPs, right? Private, public, and virtual IPs. Scan IPs also there, right? Similar way, we need to assign the adapters. These are the network interface or network adapters. One adapter for one public IP, second adapter for private IP, another for internet access. You can minimum 2 adapters you need to add, and third one for internet access, you can enable it. So one network is enabled, one adapter by default. That I'll make it bridge adapter. And then second adapter, you can go for internal adapter or bridge also. Anything is fine. Let me go with bridge only. Everything is bridge only. Okay. This some different session I have explained what is mean by the bridge, what is mean by the host only, right? So these are all the network scenarios. No need to think about it much. But if we can go with the bridge or internal network host only adapter, that's okay. Somewhere you may face the issue unable to connect that IPs outside of your machine, outside the VirtualBox. So for 3 adapters, I have given bridge adapter only. Okay, 3 networks. This is our network setup. And go to the general tab, advanced. Here, shared clipboard, we can do bidirectional, drag and drop bidirectional. Inside of your virtual machine, you want to copy from your local desktop to virtual desktop. You need to allow the direction, bidirectional copy, drag and drop bidirectional. That's where it will work. Otherwise, it won't work. System, if you want to change your RAM size and other things, you can change it right now. But okay, I don't want to change it now. Display is not required. Storage, it is very important. Under controller, okay, here it is empty one. We need to load our OS, operating system, to this machine. So I can give you one example. You have purchased one laptop without operating system. Can you use that operating system? Can you use that laptop without any operating system? No, right? Any operating system or any mobile without operating system, can we use that machines or can you use that phones? No, right? Even I have created a machine without operating system. So I need to load operating system, right? What is operating system we are using here? Linux. So this is empty one. Let me load my operating system software. Choose the disk. I have here, but I don't want to choose those. Choose disk. Where is my operating system file? This is my Linux 7.8. You can choose this. If you want to download, I showed you, right? From edelivery.oracle.com. From there, you can download it. Okay. What is this? Here it is there, no? What I can say, go back. Quickly, I can show the patch number. Okay. Why should we 7.8, right? This one. Continue. Again, it will go forward. I have selected it. Let me continue. 7.6, uncheck it. 7.8 is required for x86 64-bit. Select it. Then continue. Accept this one, licensing one. Continue. Here, uncheck all are not required. What is our patch number here? It is showing 995537. Here, this one, 4.5 GB. This one I have downloaded. For 7.6 update, it is around 4 point something, 4.3, right? Same thing. I mentioned here only, right? Where? 4.3 GB. But if you downloaded this 7.8 version, it is 4.5 GB. Let me put it. Either this or this, you can download and install it. Both are Linux one only. Either this patch or this patch. That's it. Okay. Now I'm going to choose my 7.8 operating system. Open it. So I have loaded 4.46 exact size. So storage I have loaded. And we need network also I have set it up. Nothing much. Shared folders, everything we can do it later. Okay, we can do it later. Now this is fine now. Once you've done that setup, click on OK. You can see all the configurations here. My machine name is this, Oracle Linux purpose, 8 GB RAM, 2 processors, and hard disk storage is 80 GB. And my OS operating system is this. And the network setup is this. Bridged adapter I selected for all. Okay. We can use internal network for 2 internal, 1 bridge also we can select it. That is also possible. One is for private, one is for public. Let me use that. Why should we go for all of these things? Internet host only adapter. Okay. Host only adapter I can give. Internet network I can give. This one you can make private. This is for private IP. Okay, this is for private IP. Whatever it is, if you want to go for bridge network, you can go, no issues. But I want to make somewhere flexibility. This is IP, that is fine. This is for private IP. And this I mention it for public. If you want to go internal network, you can give public also. No issues. 2 internal network, 1 bridged adapter also fine. I'll go with 1 host only adapter, 1 internal network for private IP. This is for public IP, host only adapter, public IP. And this is for internet access. Okay, click on OK. See, private IP, public IP for internet access, bridged one. Okay, done. Now we are going to start our Linux installation. Once you start the machine, it is going to boot this, where this one, boot this software, Linux software. See, to do the setup itself, it is huge, right? A lot of things. Okay. In this one, I'll conclude this, and in the next session, we can do the Linux installation one. Okay, I'll show you that.